Hey guys, Tyler Ansman here with Tyler Ansman Performance. So today we're going to talk about throwing frequency and how that kind of plays into our throwing program design. All right. So the main elements that you're going to consider when designing any kind of training program, whether it's throwing, strength and conditioning, or both, are intensity, volume, and frequency. All right. And so what we've seen kind of a lot of, at least somewhat recently, is that there are some very famous pitchers who throw every day, and they also throw 100 or very close to 100. And so everyone has begun kind of thinking that they need to do that or even can do that. And this is not necessarily the case for everybody, all right? So in order to actually kind of gain velocity, improve velocity, all of these things, we need to make sure that our high days are actually stressful enough to add to kind of drive this adaptation. And so what that means is that kind of bare minimum, we likely on those high days need to be within 5% of our lifetime best for it to make a meaningful difference. And it probably needs to be even higher than that. If we can hit a PR, great. Obviously, that's not going to happen every session, but we need a lot of stress to drive this adaptation. In order for those high days to actually be that high, you have to not have a ton of fatigue accumulated kind of leading up to that session. And so for some guys, and this is going to be different from thrower to thrower, arm speed likely plays a role here, nervous system stuff likely plays a role here, but specifically on the arm speed side, right, the velocity of that internal rotation and elbow extension is going to be different for different guys, even in the same velocity group. And likely those higher velocity internal rotation elbow extension guys are going to take a little bit longer to recover because of the demands that are being kind of presented to their bodies when they're moving that fast, okay? So if we, try to throw every day, are we truly keeping those kind of low days low enough, right, to actually be able to recover well from this? Likely the answer is no. The other side of that coin is, in some of these cases, if we are keeping the low days low enough, are we better off just resting, right? Are we doing any good by throwing at, 50% max velocity today? Right? Rather than just resting and coming back the next day and being able to do a little bit more higher quality work than if we just, kind of add this garbage volume in these days. I think a lot more guys probably need to consider a lower frequency approach rather than a super high frequency approach. Somewhere in the middle is likely going to be best for most guys, but this is going to require some experimentation, likely some measurements, readiness measurements can help in terms of kind of strength through ER, IR, elbow extension, those kinds of things. Get a baseline, see how you recover between sessions, see how these low days impact your high days, and see what it looks like, and you can go from there. You can also look at numbers on the radar gun, and you can also go by just kind of subjective, how are you feeling day to day? But a lot more people will likely do well on a lower frequency approach than they're currently taking because this accumulated fatigue is likely impacting these high days to the point where we're not actually getting the adaptation out of this that we want. Feel free to drop any comments or questions below, but this is a topic we'll touch on more later. Thanks for watching.